Hello, guys. Welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. It's another week, another very important week for Arsenal. And I know many Arsenal fans believe me when I say it's a very, very important week for Arsenal. We have Slavia Prague in this week. We either win it or we bottle it in the Europa League quarterfinals. The second leg, the most important game of Arsenal in this season, the most important game of the week. So we're going to be discussing much about the transfers, but probably for me, the biggest news in this week is Arsenal up against Slavia Prague away from home. Can we get the result? That's going to be the biggest question. Can we get the result away from Slavia Praha? Don't forget to smash the like button, and thanks everybody for supporting me. My numbers are on the screen. If you want to support me with anything, numbers are on the screen. It's much appreciated. I'm going to get into some of the transfer rumors around Arsenal, Jesse Lingard, Wilfred Zaha, and a man named as Matthias Martinelli linked with Arsenal this early morning. Of course, not only this early morning, but a couple of other transfer rumors that have been flying around. I'm going to be reacting to them since it is a Monday. I'll also look at Mikel Arteta's press conference later on after the Sheffield game and see what he actually talked about. I think he must be boasting. He did talk about Gabi Martinelli. He talked about Saka. He talked about Alexander Lacazette's goals, and he said that is a goal that Arsene Wenger would want to see. And for me, the truth is, Arsene Wenger would have loved that goal. That's a typical Arsenal goal, a typical finish, typical Arsene Wenger goal. He loved those goals. I remember when I was watching Arsenal football, I was fuming always for the fact that whenever Arsenal was getting into goal scoring positions, we could waste chances, and the reason there was we wanted to score smart. Let me just do this. Okay, sorry for that. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let's look at Wilfred Zaha and Jesse Lingard, because that is the main focus of this story. So first and foremost, let's talk about Jesse Lingard. He's been linked with Arsenal, and look, I thought this story was not serious first and foremost, but it is funny that many websites are writing about Jesse Lingard to Arsenal. I don't know where the story is coming from. I just don't know where the stories are coming from. Yes, I've looked at them. Many websites have written about them. Lingard to Arsenal, what. But I'm still asking myself, why is he linked with Arsenal? Is it because we have poor quality? Is it because he has elevated himself from I don't know. But anyway, Football London have written a piece, and they've said Manchester United have changed their own mind on Jesse Lingard amid Arsenal transfer talks. And they're saying Manchester United could now want to retain the player. You know what? I don't care. Retain him, sell him. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't want to see Jesse Lingard near Arsenal. That's the truth. I don't rate him as a player. I just don't rate him as a player. He's having a tremendous season at West Ham. But all of us have to remember, Lingard is not getting any younger. Lingard is 28 years of age, and I was surprised at this. Very, very surprised. I thought, he's a player around 24 years of age, 25. But I was so surprised. He's 28 years of age, and of course that is a footballing age. But for me, Lingard is not quality. We've got to accept this, and I know so many Arsenal fans are excited about the inform winger, the inform forward from West Ham. He's on loan from Manchester United to West Ham. He's not that player for me. He's not that kind of guy I would want Arsenal to sign. He's not that kind of player. He's not there. He has not done it for Arsenal to sign him. There's nothing special about Jesse Lingard. Look at the quality we have. You need something better if you're going to go for an upgrade. You have Pepe, you have Willian. There's no reason that's why you're going for Jesse Lingard. I think he's only doing better at West Ham because the quality at West Ham, that is his quality. West Ham is his quality. West Ham is a mid-table team. The aspirations of Arsenal, however much we are in 9th and 10th and West Ham ahead of us, the aspiration of Arsenal as a club, you're not talking about really. You're not talking about Jesse Lingard. We've got to be more serious about this. Lingard for me is not the quality of Arsenal, but of course he's been linked with with us as a club. And I know these are transfer rumors that are baseless. I don't think anything is going to happen. I don't think anything is going to happen. And if it happens, I'll be really disappointed. Really disappointed in Arsenal as a club. Really disappointed in Edu, and really, really, really disappointed in the process of this club. Because you can't tell me Arsenal is looking at just a Lingard. That is a story I have put to the beans, done and dusted. I don't want to see it again. I don't want to comment about it. He's on form. That's all. He's not quality. We've seen him at Manchester United. He's failed to prove to us that he's a good player. He has gotten the chances at Manchester United. He's failed to prove to us that he is a good player. He has failed. And there is no way Arsenal are going to sign just a Lingard and we transform him into a Messi. I think, with Martinelli, with Saka, with Pepe, with Willian, you just need an upgrade. If you're going for a winger right now as Arsenal, we expect something unprecedented, something very, very huge. There must be a reason as to why we are going for a new winger, not just a Lingard. Not just a Lingard. No. So I'm happy that he's doing a very great job. Probably he's going to qualify for the Euros, under Southgate, and that's going to be brilliant. But for me, Arsenal do not need just a Lingard anywhere close to this side. Not anywhere close. Lingard written off. I do not see anything like just a Lingard to Arsenal happen, and I don't want to see Arsenal sign just a Lingard. But also need to talk about Wilfred Zaha, because he's another player that has been linked with Arsenal. I think over the past 2 days, and the rumors are coming back. Of course, it's due because of the summer. The summer is coming back, and every summer for the past 2 years we've been linked with Wilfred Zaha. I think ever since Emery era, we've been linked with Wilfred Zaha. He's this kind of player that he's always on the Arsenal radar. Every time, just Lingard is on the Arsenal radar. But the truth is, Wilfred Zaha is now old, and we don't need Zaha right now. We have our transfer priorities. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. We have our transfer priorities this summer. It is not just a Lingard. It is not Wilfred Zaha. Our transfer priorities: get a midfielder next to Thomas Partey, get an attacking midfielder, get a right back, and get a backup left back. Those are our transfer priorities this summer. They're clear, they're in glass, written in black and white. Those are Arsenal's transfer priorities. We might go for a striker if we have some extra cash, which I know we will not have. That is it. So there is no way absolutely anyone, is going to convince us that Arsenal is going to sign Wilfred Zaha. Arsenal need Wilfred Zaha. For what cause? What's the cause Arsenal are going for Wilfred Zaha? It absolutely makes no sense for me. No sense. Absolutely makes no sense for me that Zaha and Jesse Lingard are linked to Arsenal. I think Zaha is a quality player. He's good. If he had played for Arsenal, probably we could have seen even the better of him, than we've seen at Crystal Palace. I think at Palace he enjoys that freedom. He enjoys, a lot of things. The freedom, the relevance, and so on. And at Arsenal, I think he would have been better than Pepe, because I think what Pepe gives you is half of what Wilfred Zaha gives Crystal Palace. We've got to be true. So if you ask me, Pepe or Zaha, I would go for Zaha at the moment, at the time. But we have signed Pepe, and we're not going to let him go at this point in time, because no one is going to pay, 70 million or 60 million for Pepe. And he's become an integral part of Mikel Arteta's team. You could see, whenever he gets on the pitch, he's making chances. He's getting in shots and so on. So I think Arteta has started integrating him into the starting lineup, into the Arsenal squad. There is no way Wilfred Zaha is going to get a chance to ever play for Arsenal. I know many people are going to say, because he is an Arsenal fan, and that's why many fans actually like him. He's an Arsenal fan. He's been there for Arsenal. He's achieved it for Arsenal and so on. Yes, I do understand. It's been brilliant. It's been, it's brilliant to have players that support the club play for you. But there is no chance Wilfred Zaha is going to be playing for us. No, we've just got to agree. We just have, we need to accept that Zaha will never be playing for us. No, Lingard should never play for us. No, I'm just amazed that I'm talking about these transfers. I'm just amazed that I'm talking about just a Lingard to Arsenal. For me, that indicates how low we are falling. It shows, how low we are falling. It shows how poor we've become as a club. That just a Lingard scoring 5-7 goals is now Arsenal quality. Back in the day, we never used to sign expensive players, but the quality that Arsenal appreciated in the market, you couldn't link us with just a Lingard. It's only under the Stan Kroenke era that we've started signing players like Alexander Frimpong. We started getting players like Johan Joru. And now, you know what happens is, we started being linked with players like just a Lingard. But for Lingard, totally written off. Zaha, I think, his time to join Arsenal is over. Will it ever happen? I don't think. It's in glass, written in black and white. He will never be a national player. We've just got to accept that he's not going to be a national player. Zaha, never is he going to be a national player. We've got to accept that, and that is the truth. That is it. So he's too old to play in Arsenal. At least Lingard. No, don't say at least Lingard. Don't say at least Lingard, Oscar, because Lingard is not that kind of player you want to see at Arsenal. Come on. The standards of Arsenal as a football club have not dropped to this level that we're saying at least Lingard. Lingard is not Arsenal quality. 28 years of age. He's having one season like this. One season is actually half a season, not one season. Half a season. You can't sign players off 10 good matches. You can't sign players off 7 good matches because he scored consistently for 7 good matches. No, you can't. Olivier Giroud did it at Montpellier, and with no disrespect, I think when he came at Arsenal, he did what he did what he could do. But just imagine the chances Giroud was getting if they were falling onto the boots of Benzema, and that's what I'm talking about. That whenever we settle for less, Arsenal as a club, the ambitions are going down. Don't settle for less as fans. Because this is what Stan Kroenke and the board want us to do: settle for less. Whenever they see that Lingard is linked with Arsenal, and Arsenal fans are talking about it, they're jubilating. At the end of the day, they're gonna bring in someone you never know, because they know you settle for anything. If you have Aubameyang in the team, you have Odegaard in the team, you have Partey. Then, if you signed Partey last summer, you can't go for just a Lingard in the next summer. You can't. That is, it's written on paper, black and white. Just a Lingard is not Arsenal quality. He's not there. We want to take Arsenal back to the levels where we were, or where we have to be. Champions League football. Just a Lingard is not Champions League material. The reason as why he's not playing at United this season, he's not good enough. That is it. He's not good enough. Daniel James is playing ahead of him at United. Mason Greenwood, teenager, I think 18-year-old, is playing ahead of him at United. And Paul Pogba at times, would be played on the wings, but not just a Lingard. And then you say, it's just unfair. United is treating him unfairly. He should go to Arsenal. He's going to get a chance. That is how we signed Danny Welbeck. That reminds me. It's how we signed Danny Welbeck. Shit. I just couldn't answer myself why Arsenal signed Danny Welbeck. That is Brighton quality. And you see, he's at Brighton. He bangs in one or two nets per 5 games. And that's okay. That's his quality. That is where he has to be. So if we sign Danny Welbeck and Mikel Sylvester, and then you tell me Jesse Lingard is coming to Arsenal, there will be no difference. That means we are like the Bourbons. We learned nothing, and we are forgetting nothing. You signed Danny Welbeck. I don't remember the season. I think it was under. It was still under Arsene Wenger, but I still remember it was on transfer deadline day, wasn't it? He was going to Tottenham Hotspur. I still remember that window. And then we brought in Danny Welbeck. In that window, we were trying to sign Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, Shark offer striker. I still remember. Huntelaar is a classy striker. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is class. We were trying to bring in Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, and then we failed to do a deal for Klaas-Jan Huntelaar in that summer, and we brought in Danny Welbeck on the last day. And Arsenal fans said, we are getting back on Manchester United because we brought in Danny Welbeck. Come on, be serious. The things that just need to be very, very serious. Lingard, for me, is not that kind of player. I'll never accept him at Arsenal. I would rather have Torreira on the wings. I would rather have Sid Kolasinac on the wings than have just a Lingard. I'm telling you for facts. There is no reason as to why we are clearing out dead wood and bringing in players that are going to become dead wood on big salaries. He's English. Right now, you're going to pay around, close to £30 million. You'll see his prices in the summer. You're going to see his prices because United are not going to keep him. It's going to be around 30 million. But why would anyone pay 30 million for just a Lingard? He's a mid-table, he's a mid-table mediocre for mid-table mediocre teams. That is not Arsenal. That is not why I believe Arsenal has never been a mid-table, mediocre team. We've been like this for the past 4 seasons, and everything needs to change. So just a Lingard, for me, is out of the picture. Wilfred Zaha, he's a respectable Arsenal fan, respectable player in the Premier League. He's been brilliant. He's been brilliant. I think ever since he made that Manchester United Crystal Palace switch, he's earned it. He's been there. He's done the job right. Exactly. But the chances of him joining Arsenal are over. But I want us to talk about a new player. Another name, and I'll talk about this player in detail, I think, in the next live stream. But we need to talk about this guy called Matthew. Of course, he's written as Mattel, something like Mattel, but he's called Matthew Martinelli. Matthew Martinelli, and it's been trending around Arsenal and all the transfer stories linked with Arsenal. Matthew Martinelli or Matteo Martinelli is playing down in Brazil, and reports indicate that Arsenal have made contact, and probably we are still waiting to listen from the club and see whether we are going to actually get the player. He's playing in the midfield area, and I want to see more of him. I'm going to try to get his clips and watch them because I cannot watch the Brazilian league. Come on. But I'm going to watch some of his clips and see how he plays. Is he how good is he? But he's rated at £35 million. Probably he's Brazilian, of course, because the Martinelli kind of connection. And we are gathering more Brazilians, by the way, at Arsenal. Look at Willian, look at Gabriel Magalhaes, David Luiz, Gabi Martinelli. I'm not trying to say that Brazilians are invading Arsenal, but what I'm trying to say is we are getting now the numbers of Brazilians. So we have been linked with Matthew Martinelli. If anyone knows anything about Matthew Martinelli, please do tell me. Watching about this player, I'm green. I'm going to read about his playing style. I'm going to read about his bio. I'm going to try to do much, more of the things. I looked at that story as I was coming on. I was like, okay, that is okay. Let's see how things roll. And I think this is what needs to be done. You need to start seeing Arsenal being linked with midfielders. Look, for me, I know the summer is 3 months away because we have to go, over April, May, and June. Then the summer, the transfer window opens in July. I know Arsenal will do some deals in June, and I need you guys to be very, very, very alert. Do subscribe because I anticipate that this might not be the biggest of summers like many people want it to be or expect it to be, but we might do some deals in June and then do the rest of our deals in July. I don't want to see Arsenal doing much of the deals in August because the season will be back. We need to do our deals between June and July. Actually, if we are serious, when the Euro ends, then those players we have signed should actually be coming in at the club. But we shall see that in the summer. I don't want us to rush in there. But I want us to be linked with priority targets, priority players. Look, in the past 24 hours, I've not seen Arsenal linked with the left back. But we need a left back backup. We've been linked with the Hakimi, that's a right back. We've been linked with Tariq Lamptey and Emerson. Those are all right backs. We need to be linked with right backs. A left back. left backs. We need to see Arsenal linked with left backs. But we need to see Arsenal linked with midfielders. If you're telling me that we're linked with just a Lingard, you're crazy. Who's writing this? And it's crazy that story was not even written by the Sun. Because if it's written by the Sun or Court Offside, you're like, yeah, that is what they do. They write fake news. But it's not written by the Sun. That means there is someone who's insinuating something that Arsenal, and you know how crazy our transfer business is. We always go for those crazy targets, don't we? But anyway, I still think Arsenal will do good business. Thank you so much for getting in the comments, and I want to take your comments now. I'm going to discuss Mikel Arteta's press conference. I want to really discuss what he said in that press conference. This is where we've got it all wrong for the past 4 seasons. The standard of some players that we have been signing or that have been signed to Arsenal do not really match our future progress. Good. Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you so much. This is brilliant. Thanks everybody in the comment. If you want to support the channel, the link, the numbers are scrolling over the screen. Just a little something: $1, $2, $3, $5. It's enough. You can also just use the super chat button. But I agree with Isaac. Where Arsenal have always got it wrong is you want to bring in quality. You want to become a quality side, right? But then the players you're signing are contrary to the target. Look, if you want Champions football next season, yeah, and then you sign just a Lingard, I mean, are you trying to fool yourself? There is one quote I love from one of the fans I always follow. He says, "Are you a comedian or you're trying to force comedy?" Because I think, look, if we sign just a Lingard, it would be Arsenal trying to force comedy, nothing else. It would be Arsenal trying to force comedy. Just a Lingard is nowhere close to the standards of Arsenal. That should be agreed upon. We all know he's nowhere near the standards of Arsenal. Thank you so much, Isaac. Because if you look at Arsenal and the way we've been doing transfer business over the years, it's not progressive. That is not progressive. We signed Chambers. Ever since we signed Chambers, there is nothing Chambers has added onto in terms of value. We signed Robolding. I think Robolding has added on terms of value, but the quality of Robolding as a player is questionable, very questionable. If we have signed Robolding, and City have signed Aymeric Laporte. United have signed Maguire for £85 million, and Liverpool have signed Virgil van Dijk. You can see the difference. We signed Sid Kolasinac. That is another signing you have to ask questions about. We left N'Golo Kante and went for Granit Xhaka. Kante has progressed over the years. He's become one of the biggest names in the midfield in Europe. Xhaka has gone silent to he's okay. He's just okay because he's doing well. He's okay. So the transfer mistakes Arsenal make are hurting us. They're going back to, they're coming back and they're hurting us. We just need to get, transfer business serious. And for me, if you're going to get transfer business serious, you need to go for the real deals. Look, Romano, and look, Romano said they're deals that are going to be cheap, but Arsenal won't go for them like the Paulo Dybala deal. That's a deal Arsenal by now should be knocking on the door. We want Dybala. What does Juventus have to say? If you're saying 30 million, 35, 40, go for it. Dybala is a fantastic player. Fantastic player. His deal is closing down. Marcio Sabitzer, 1 year left on his contract. But who doesn't appreciate the quality Sabitzer has at Leipzig? Who doesn't appreciate the quality of Paulo Dybala at Juventus? We need to start doing such deals. We need to start doing such deals if Arsenal is going to get back to winning ways. As I say, Zaha, why not give some play time to Nelson instead and just allow Lingard to be? Thanks so much, Isaac, for the comments. Peterson says Zaha is now too old to fit in Arsenal and he can't be an Arsenal player again. That is true. That is true. I don't think We just need to get over the fact that Zaha will never be an Arsenal player. It's a fact. It's unprecedented. It's a fact. It's undisputed. Because this is where Arsenal fails when it comes to the issue of the transfers. This is Frank. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. That is where we fail. That's where I fail. And look, you know, these rumors, these are still rumors, by the way, but these are rumors that become true. I mean, at times, you know, at one point in time, we signed Squadron Mustafi for 35 million pounds. So these rumors are what actually become the news. But anyway, let me just look at Mwangu then says, bro, Arsenal is not serious at all. Peterson says, but all players from Man U to Arsenal are always bullshit. There is no need for Lingard. I don't remember the last time we signed, a player from Manchester United and it was quality. I don't remember. Even Henrik Mkhitaryan, he was poor, very poor. It's wait for the summer. Of course, we have to wait for the summer. If it's building Arsenal, tell me some magic those two guys can deliver at the club. Nothing, absolutely nothing. There is nothing I'm going to give, as a positive. There's nothing I'm going to give as a positive to just a Lingard. There's nothing I'm going to give as a positive, to Wilfred Zaha now. Nothing. I think because his Arsenal is just crazy. Look at Zaha, Lingard. They are all deadwood, at least Pepe and Laka. It's what I've been talking about. If you're going for new signings, go for an upgrade. All of us are going to, be like, okay, the club went for an upgrade. For an upgrade. But if you're not going for an upgrade, for me, it doesn't make sense. Why sign players that are not an upgrade of what you have? But anyway, let's look at also. Let's look at Mikel Arteta's press conference yesterday. I just want to react to that in a second. He was asked whether Arsene Wenger would have enjoyed the Lacazette goal. By the way, that was a brilliant goal. Brilliant. I think both goals were brilliant from Alexander Lacazette. I think the first goal was a typical teamwork goal from Arsenal. That is an Arsene Wenger goal, isn't it? Someone tell me. Someone click the like button if you think that was Alexander that was a typical Arsenal goal. Smash the like button, guys. Smash it. Just smash it, because I think you remember the goal. I think we were playing Norwich when Jack Wilshere scored one of the best goals ever in the decade. One of the best teamwork goals in the decade. Jack Wilshere. Try to remember. That was a goal and a half. If you remember that match, let me know in the comment section. If you remember that game, Arsenal versus Norwich, Jack Wilshere. I think it is Cazorla to Olivier Giroud, Giroud to Wilshere, Wilshere to Giroud, and then then Giroud to Wilshere again, and then Wilshere scores that simple tap in. Those goals. I think. And of course, Mikel Arteta said, hopefully, it was a typical Arsenal goal. It was really high quality. At the movement from Laka was really, really good. And I think both goals were great. I think both goals were great. But the first one, what I like about it, and this is crazy. First and foremost, I think the flick on from Ceballos is maximally quality. But what I like about that goal is the fact that Alexander Lacazette is there, arrives there, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything apart from wrapping his foot around that ball and going for goal. Because I thought, he would want to stop it and then try to have a few touches. No, he doesn't do that. As soon as he arrives in that area, he's looking at goal. The goalkeeper's, provided with chance of space on his left hand side, places it there. Brilliant goal. And then the second goal, Thomas Partey, the turn and the way he releases Alexander Lacazette. That's a typical. We have taken long without seeing those ones. We have taken so long without seeing those ones. So Mikel says it was a typical Arsenal goal, and I cannot disagree. It was a typical Arsenal goal. Arteta on Saka said, I don't know the extent for Thursday. David and Kieran will be out. Emil and Martin will we don't know yet. Let's see how Bukayo Saka develops in the next few days. Of course, I talked about this in the match reaction and I said the reason that's why these players are getting injured is easy. It's easy to understand why we are losing so many players to injuries. It's courtesy of the fact that they're playing so many games at a very tender age. These are players that are still developing. We've got to, we've got to accept that. These are players that are still developing. But because Arsenal has repeatedly made mistakes in the transfer, at the end, it's the fans to be left in pain. Yeah, I understand, Peter. I understand, Peterson. And I absolutely do agree with you. Mistake after mistake after mistake. I do agree with you. I think we need to get more serious. We need to be more serious when it comes to transfers. I do agree with you, bro. The link is in the comment section. If you want to give me your say, call in and give me your say. The link is in the comment section. We have streamed for 31 minutes. That's brilliant. To Zaha, surely to be Arsenal fan need to have strong heart, cause have attack from Kroenke up the technical team all for the same, all reason the same. Look, I think to be an Arsenal fan, you just have to be you just have to be strong. Yeah, you just have to be so strong. It is tiring. It is tiring to support this club. It is so tiring to support this club. You just feel like it's tiring. No happiness in the transfer window, no happiness in the season, no happiness nowhere, no happiness. Smash the like button, people. 22 people in the chat. Thank you so much. Smash the like button. So Arteta says Saka is injured, and he says David Louis and Tierney are out for Thursday. But I think this, Tierney is out for the season. I said that, and someone, was saying that I was lying. But the truth is, I know how good and I know how much he means for us now. But he's out for the season. We've got to accept that. David Lewis out for the season as well. Emily Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard, probably one of them could be back for Thursday. That's according to Mikel Arteta. Let's wait and see. But of course, he says, let's see how Bukayo Saka develops in the next few days. Mikel Arteta on Martinelli said, I'm asking you to be patient because we have a lot of 19 and 20-year-old players. It's not common, and Gabi is on the right path with the right development. He's got an incredible attitude and talent. Let's talk about Gabriel Martinelli in a second, because Arteta says we have to be patient. We have a lot of 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds players coming up. I agree with you because I think Smith-Rowe has been brilliant. I think Martinelli is brilliant. I think Saka is over the moon. Incredible. I think Tierney is doing so well. So yeah, I agree. But he deserves a chance. He deserves more chances because he has not disappointed. Whenever he comes onto the pitch, I think it was only against the United game that I think he was bullshit. Bissaka totally, crippled him. But apart from that, he's a top performer. And one of the things you love about Martinelli, he performs at the high level and at the low level. He's gonna smash Sheffield. He'll smash Liverpool. He'll smash Chelsea. And that's why he's trending since January 29, 2020. He's trending. If it's not for injuries, I think he's ahead of Saka. So he says it's incredible. Arteta on Xhaka, he said he had a very specific role today for the game, and he had the right qualities to develop that role. It's a joy to work with him. You ask him to play as a center forward, and his reaction is yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah, look, I think Granit Xhaka his versatility is not that of it's not that of a player like who's one of the most versatile players at Arsenal. Someone tell me in the comments. Who's one of the most versatile players at Arsenal? Okay, I would say Maitland Niles, because Niles is a little bit versatile compared to all the Arsenal players. And what you want to appreciate about Niles okay, Saka, because I think Niles is out on loan with the West Brom. But Niles and Saka, because if you play Niles as right back, it's going to give you that quality. If you play him as left back, in a 3-5-2, it's going to give you the quality. If you play him in the midfield, it's going to give you the quality. I think the versatility of Xhaka is not to that level. He's not that level of of Smith Rowe. Of Ainsley Maitland-Niles. But when you play him in the left back, if you play him in the left hand side of the midfield, I think Xhaka performs. And I think his build is good to play as a centre back. But Mikel did give him Mikel gave him a lot of praise there, and I have no issues with that. I have no issues with that. Okay, let's see what you guys have to say in the chat here. It says, I think Zaha is a player that can put a defender in panic. A lot of speed. Arsenal need a player like him. Good. In fact, excellent. I love that guy. But Kelly, that's so good. I think we need a player like him. But there's so many other players that will give you the quality of Wilfred Zaha, minus signing Wilfred Zaha as a person. I think that's what we have got to accept as a club. There's so many players that are going to give you the quality of Zaha, minus you bringing in Zaha. Because if you bring in Zaha right now, one of the things we have to accept and ask ourselves is, how old is Zaha? If I bring in Zaha right about now, how many years does he have to perform at that level? But if you said that Arsenal is going for a player like, for example, Leon Bailey, talk about Leon Bailey. If we went for Leon Bailey, wouldn't that be awesome? Because I think Bailey is going to give you what Zaha gives you. Of course, Sancho is expensive, but you want players like Jadon Sancho. You want to see them at Arsenal. You want players like Heung-min Son. Yeah, the quality. We need that quality, and I do not disagree. Because if you look at what Martinelli gives us at Arsenal, is putting defenders into panic modes. That is, his intensity, his level of aggression is just fantastic. To Arsenal fan, the only hope is on Dangote. If he will buy Arsenal and take over the Arsenal club, because I'm sure he will have his technical team and new staff. Let's talk about Dangote in a minute. Let's talk about Dangote, because I've done videos on this channel about Dangote. And you know what's funny is some of my top performing videos on this channel about Aliko Dangote, and I'll do a video about Dangote. I do promise I'll do a video about Aliko Dangote. Just a second. Thank you for staying on. So let's talk about Dangote, and let's talk about what Arsenal would get from getting Dangote. I did a video and I said, what would Dangote's Arsenal plan be? Why would we want to have Dangote, and what should Dangote do for Arsenal? That was the focus on my video, and I appreciate all those people who loved it. Oscar, Peterson, Amy. There's so many people who have been watching these videos when I was not live. There's so many people. What happened to Odegaard? Are you saying Martin Odegaard? Are you saying Martin Odegaard? Martin Odegaard is injured, bro. Martin Odegaard is injured. I think he got a knock in his right ankle when he was on international duty. It was against Norway. No, he was playing for Norway, not against Norway. I don't remember the club. I don't remember the nation they were playing against. But then when he came back, we played him against Liverpool. So I think we escalated the injury. So he's out for now. But I was still talking about Aliko Dangote, because someone talked to me, was talking about Dangote. And the truth is, if Arsenal get an Aliko Dangote takeover, it would be brilliant, excellent, off the moon. You want to see that happen. You want to see that as an, you want to see that happen as an Arsenal fan. It would be so good. But the first thing you have to ask is Kroenke going to sell? Because I remember when I was doing Kroenke out, one of the pieces we used in that video, and check it out on the channel if you have not checked it out. we say that we are putting much pressure on the managers and other people because we know it's hard for us to change the ownership. So the question is, how do you push Kroenke out? That is it. If you can, if you can, push Kroenke out, brilliant. Then you have the best of Arsenal. But I think Kroenke, I agree with you. I think if you get Dangote, he's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal man. You're getting, you're getting an Abramovich at Arsenal. He's an Arsenal man, and I want to quote his quote. Of course, he's a businessman, and businessmen always want to make the money. But we are going to stream for the next 10 minutes, and I'll be off. Thanks everybody for watching. Smash the like button if you would like to support me with anything like data or anything. And if you and you're in Africa, link the numbers are on my screen. If you're in Africa, you can send. I think you'll be able to transfer some on those numbers. If you're in Europe, you can use any money app like SendWave. I think it will also work for you. Dangote will wash the club. This is Kalinoso. I don't believe that. I don't believe that, because for me, I think why we need Dangote, and I hope I'm true. I'm right about this. I think why we need Dangote is Arsenal need an Arsenal man. You need an Arsenal man. You need someone who supports Arsenal. You need someone who loves the club. He said he doesn't want to take over Arsenal. And then let me just get the quote right. He said, "I don't want us to take Arsenal and leave it like that. I want us to take over Arsenal and make it a big project." Those were his own words. So probably if he takes over, which I doubt he will, but if he takes over, probably you have an Arsenal man. You're gonna tell Dangote, we need Haaland, and he said, "What? How much is Haaland?" And he says, you say Haaland is 100 million, and said, "Okay, let the club contribute 50%, and I'll give you 50%." Because that is what we've been doing at Arsenal. We've been sponsoring our own transfers. We just need someone to inject money. Because Arsenal can afford Haaland if Kroenke is going to give us 50 million. If you're going to give us 50 million as Kroenke, and then the club can raise around, the rest, the club can raise around, the rest probably, the 70. But because, Kroenke is not supportive, Kroenke is not, giving us money, that's the reason as to why we are going for just a Lingard. That's the reason. Augustine says, "I'm seriously sure that Arsenal will get to the semi-final." I used to think we shall get there. I know many Arsenal fans are disappointed, and you don't blame them for that, do you? You don't blame Arsenal fans for getting disappointed in their club. We've been performing poorly, and that's the reason as to why clubs are disappointed. I mean, fans are disappointed, but we shall get there. I think go to Slavia Praha, get the job done. What is so hard about that? Get an early goal. 20 minutes in, lead. As simple as that. Lead 20 minutes in, and after that, what are you waiting for? Go for it. That is what we have to do as a club. That is what I expect Arsenal to do. But the problem at times is, you're going to go against Slavia Praha, and then you're going to see a totally different Arsenal. Playing a lot of shit around. But if we go with the same mentality, if we go with the same way, I think we will go through. Slavia Praha makes a lot of mistakes, and I'll talk about this in the match preview. I think Praha make a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes. We just need to capitalize on those mistakes. That's what I'm talking about. We just need to capitalize on those mistakes. Those mistakes, and we will get there. I'm telling you, for facts. Real facts. We will get there. We will go through. Let me just look. Who did I not answer? Arteta needs to be sacked. I'm an Arteta out, bro. Because to bring both Ate and Kroenke to platform to solve Arsenal's problems, that would be incredible. Trust me, because if all my lovely Arsenal is going to sign Wilfred Zaha, that is when we are bringing in another Willian. Trust me. Thank you for the comment, Isaac. That is well thought through. Kosi, but what do you think Arsenal can do to bring Martinelli on the starting 11? I don't know. I don't know why Mikel doesn't want to give him regular football. I just don't understand why he doesn't want to give him regular football, because I think he's performing. He's performing. And I think the only reason that's why we saw him against Sheffield was because of Aubameyang being out. Yeah. It's the only reason as to why we saw him. It's because Aubameyang was out. There's a big question. If Aubameyang is not out of that, of that game, is Martinelli starting? But probably we have to wait and see. The only secret to knock out Slavia Prague is to score many goals. Good. Sorry for that. And it's not. And it's not for me. It's not. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. It's known. Score goals, kick out Slavia Prague. That is it. Otherwise, guys, you have been a very, very interesting audience. Please, I need someone to sponsor my data for the next show. If you want to sponsor my data for the next show, my numbers are scrolling. If you want to sponsor me for the next show, my numbers are scrolling. Just I think $10 will do. If you want to support me for the next show, $10 will do. That's around if you're in Uganda, that's around what, 35,000. Yeah. And then I'll be live for the next show, and I think I'll be still talking about transfers. I'll be talking about Matthias Martinelli and more of the transfer rumors as they come on. Come on, you Arsenal. I really do. Peterson is, I'm gonna sponsor you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Peterson Derrock. He's been sponsoring me he has sponsored me now. This is the third time he sponsored me, and that's why one of the reasons I'm always coming live and I have data is because of this guy. So thank you so much, Peterson, and anyone else who wants to sponsor, add on the sponsorship. My numbers are on this are on the screen. They're scrolling. Thank you so much, Peterson. Love Arsenal and love you guys. I'll come back and we discuss more of the transfer news. Of course, this time we'll be discussing the Arsenal Sensport transfers. Make sure you're on, because this one is going to be a little bit more technical, but you will love it.